Some comebacks feel like they're straight out of a movie, but they're legit. They were lived, they were screamed, they were cried over.
Atenção, Ronaldinho bateu! Gol!
These matches proved one thing. In football, impossible has an expiration date. Today, you're going to see the most unlikely, insane, and unbelievable comebacks in world football. Let's kick things off with a clash of titans. Santos versus Flamengo, two of the heaviest shirts in Brazilian football. Match day 12 of the 2011 Brasileirão. Neymar against Ronaldinho, a duel that crossed generations. On one side, the rising wonder kid. On the other, the legendary magician, a two-time world's best player. But no one could have guessed what was about to go down on that magic night. The game had barely started when Santos showed their hand. Midfielder Elano found striker Borges at the edge of the box. The number 9 controlled it, turned, and slotted it into the corner to score the opener. 4 minutes in, and it was 1-0 on the scoreboard. The Vila Belmiro was rocking, and the second goal came right after. Midfielder Paulo Henrique Ganso played a through ball to Neymar, who was one-on-one with Felipe. The keeper smothered it, the ball was loose, and even while sitting down, Neymar found a genius pass for Borges to bag the second, a proper masterclass. And then came the moment that would go down in history. Neymar burst through the middle, played a 1-2 with Borges, left the defender Ronaldo Angelim on the floor with a sick move, and slotted it past the keeper. An absolute worldie, which would later win the Puskas Award. 3-0, with only 25 minutes on the clock. But Flamengo weren't dead and buried. 3 minutes later, midfielder Luis Antonio put in a low cross, the keeper Rafael fumbled it, and Ronaldinho was free to pull one back. A little while later, fullback Leo Moura crossed it in from the right and put it on a plate for midfielder Thiago Neves, who buried the header into the back of the net. The game was on fire. 3-2. At the 40-minute mark, Neymar won a penalty. Elano stepped up, tried a Panenka, but Felipe didn't fall for it and made the save. The fans barely had time to be gutted. From the next corner, Ronaldinho whipped one in and striker David glanced it home to level the match. All square before the break. An insane first half. Early in the second half, Neymar was back at it. He received a long ball in the box, brought it down, and slotted it past the keeper. 4-3 to Santos, and his second of the match. But Flamengo wanted more. From a free kick near the box, Ronaldinho surprised everyone and drilled it low under the wall. What a goal! 4-all. And with 10 minutes left on the clock, the comeback was on. A lightning-fast counterattack, Thiago Neves found Ronaldinho, who controlled it with class and finished with even more ice in his veins. Hat trick for the magician. 5-4. An absolutely epic match. One of the greatest comebacks in the history of Brazilian football. And Ronaldinho knew his legacy would live on through Neymar. Moving on to another historic clash. It was the 2018-19 Champions League semi-final. On one side, Messi's Barcelona, who had smashed it 3-0 in the first leg with the Argentine putting on a show at the Camp Nou. On the other, Liverpool, without Salah, without Firmino, but with a packed and bouncing Anfield, and it seemed impossible. But the impossible started to take shape right from the off. 6 minutes in, Jordi Alba tried a headed back pass but completely messed it up. The ball fell to Mané, who quickly played it to midfielder Henderson. The captain charged into the box through the middle of the Catalan defense and shot low. The keeper, Ter Stegen, made a reflex save, and on the rebound, striker Origi was there in a flash and just tapped it in. It was the first glimmer of hope. 1-0. Barca felt the pressure, but they still had Messi, and the Argentine nearly killed the tie when Coutinho cut in from the left, passed to the number 10, who went for a curling shot into the top corner. Alisson, well-positioned, got his fingertips to it. Next up, Messi returned the favor. He carried the ball through the middle, laid it off for Coutinho, who had another go. But Alisson stood firm, saving everything. In stoppage time, Alba himself got in behind the defense and hit it hard. Once again, Alisson came out to pull off a miracle save. Liverpool was still in it because of him. Then came the second half. Less than 10 minutes in, Arnold hustled the ball off Alba, charged down the right, and his cross took a deflection off the tracking midfielder Rakitic. The ball fell loose in the center of the box. Holding midfielder Wijnaldum arrived and hit it first time. Ter Stegen should have done better. That was the second. 2-0. The dream was starting to look possible. On the very next play, the impossible started to look real. Winger Shaqiri delivered a perfect cross from the left, and Wijnaldum again rose higher than everyone else. A bullet header. Unstoppable. 3-0. All square on aggregate. The stadium erupted, but the final blow was yet to come. The moment that would go down in history was still missing. Corner to the Reds. Arnold pretended he was going to leave the ball. The defense switched off, but he turned back, took it quickly, and drilled it low. Origi appeared all alone, like a ghost in the box. He hit it first time. Goal! goal. 4-0. Comeback complete. Klopp was applauding on the touchline. The stadium was shaking. Liverpool had done the impossible. They turned it around. They knocked out Barcelona. They took a massive step towards lifting the trophy for the 6th time and wrote one of the most thrilling chapters in Champions League history. The next comeback left the whole world speechless. It was the knockout stage of the 2304 Champions League season. Quarterfinals, Deportivo La Coruña versus Milan. The Rossoneri, champions from the season before, had won 4-1 in the first leg at the San Siro. It looked like game over, with a stacked team on the pitch, with Dida, Maldini, Cafu, Pirlo, Kaká, Shevchenko. No one doubted the Italians would go through. But at the Riazor Stadium in Spain, the impossible decided to show up. Right at the start of the match, striker Walter Pandiani received the ball with his back to goal at the edge of the box. He turned with class, shifted it to his left, and fired a shot across goal into the corner. Dida tried, but he couldn't get there. 1-0 to La Coruña, the start of a historic night. Milan tried to control the game, but they were under pressure. And little by little, the Spanish home ground was turning into a cauldron. Striker Luque took off down the left, breezed past his man, and whipped it into the box. Dida came out and got caught in no man's land. And midfielder Valeron, completely unmarked, headed it in at the far post to find the back of the net. The stadium went wild. 2-0. Milan was starting to lose the plot. At the end of the first half, the next blow landed. The keeper, Molina, took a powerful goal kick. The ball bounced in midfield, and the defender Nesta made a hash of it and couldn't clear his lines. Albert Luque pounced on it, outpaced Cafu, burst into the box, and unleashed a rocket with his left foot. No chance for Dida. 3-0. With the away goal in Italy, the comeback was now real. A rattled Milan came back for the second half looking clueless. La Coruña believed in every ball, and in the final stretch, the decisive moment arrived. Midfielder Fran got the ball on the left wing, took on Gattuso, and cut inside. He hit a powerful shot with his left. The ball took a deflection off Cafu, completely wrong-footing Dida, and it nestled into the back of the net. 4-0. The Riazor Stadium was going insane. A spectacular upset. One of the greatest comebacks in Champions League history. The Giants of Milan fell before the bravery of a team that refused to give up. Deportivo La Coruña were making history in Europe. The next clash was more than just a Champions League final. It was the biggest Madrid derby on the biggest stage in European football. On one side, Real Madrid, 9-time champions carrying the weight of tradition. On the other, Atletico, warriors relentless, chasing their first ever Champions League title after knocking out Milan, Barca, and Chelsea. It was the chance of a lifetime for the Colchoneros, and they knew it. In the first half, the dream looked like it was becoming a reality. 36 minutes in, from a corner kick, the real defense tried to clear it, but the ball came back in. Fullback Juanfran headed it back into the box, and Godin, the goal-scoring defender, outjumped midfielder Khedira. The keeper Casillas came off his line late and was caught out. Atletico opened the scoring. 1-0. The title seemed so close. The second half was pure tension. Real was pressing, but they couldn't break down their rival's defensive wall. Cristiano, Bale, Di Maria, they all got stopped by Atletico's midfield line. The minutes ticked by and Atletico dropped even deeper. They could almost touch the trophy, but Real Madrid aren't called the kings of Europe for nothing, right? When the clock ticked past 92 minutes, Modric got ready to take the corner. He delivered a peach of a cross, and Sergio Ramos, the captain, soared higher than anyone. A pinpoint header into the corner. The keeper, Courtois, stretched for it, but it was impossible. Goal, the equalizer. The Merengues fans went absolutely nuts. The match was heading to extra time. After that goal, it was like there was only one team on the pitch. Atletico's players had nothing left in the tank. At 110 minutes, Di Maria went on a mazy run down the left. He went past Juanfran, past Miranda, burst into the box, and shot across goal. Courtois saved it, but the ball looped up, and Bale appeared like a rocket, getting behind the fullback Alderweireld to angrily head it into the empty net. The turnaround, unbelievable. Right after, another blow came. Cristiano passed to Marcelo in midfield, and the fullback just took off from the halfway line. Look at how the Atletico defense has no more energy to defend. He ran into the box and smashed it low and hard. Courtois this time could only watch. 3-1, and the final blow was still to come. Cristiano Ronaldo got into the box and was fouled by the midfielder Gabi for a penalty. He stepped up to take it, full of confidence. He smashed it hard into the right corner. Courtois dived one way, and the ball went the other. 4-1. Real Madrid had finally won the long-awaited La Decimi, an epic comeback. With drama, with suffering. Stamp stamped with the signature of a team born to rule Europe. The last comeback was another Champions League final, this time from the 98-99 season. Manchester United versus Bayern Munich. The Red Devils were 90 minutes away from making history. They had already won the Premier League and the FA Cup. All that was missing was the cherry on top, conquering Europe. But Bayern weren't there just to make up the numbers. Just 5 minutes into the game, the Germans took the lead. From a free kick on the edge of the box, midfielder Mario Basler hit it with class and power into the left corner, leaving keeper Peter Schmeichel frozen to the spot. It was the first blow, 1-0 to Bayern. Time ticked on, and the English side just couldn't get back into it. Giggs and Beckham kept trying, but strikers York and Cole couldn't find any space. Meanwhile, Bayern almost doubled their lead with an unbelievable chance. With less than 10 minutes to go, striker Karsten Janker set himself up in the box and, with an overhead kick, smashed the ball against the crossbar. The trophy seemed destined to go to Germany, but football still had a historic plot twist in store. With the clock hitting 90 minutes, corner for United, David Beckham to take it. Even Peter Schmeichel, the keeper, went up for it. The ball was half cleared by the defense and fell loose at the edge of the box. And there, it fell to the feet of striker Teddy Sheringham. He hit it first time and scuffed it into the corner. The keeper, Oliver Kahn, had no chance. An equalizer in the dying seconds of the game. The red half of the stadium exploded. The impossible was happening. 2 minutes later, another corner. Beckham whipped it in once again. Sheringham flicked it on with a header at the near post. And there he was in the 6-yard box, striker Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the baby-faced assassin. He poked it out with the tip of his boot, on reflex, on instinct. Goal, the comeback. In the 93rd minute, the Bayern players collapsed onto the pitch. It was one of the greatest comebacks in football history. Manchester United, champions of Europe in 1999. The treble, and an absolutely cinematic ending. And if you've watched the video this far, you've got to smash that like button, right? And sub to the channel, because I'm planning on making other parts with even more insane comebacks. Meanwhile, check out these videos popping up on your screen. I'm sure you're gonna love them. My name is Christian Castro, and I'll catch you in the next one.